We've got a 3/4 inch poplar dowel in here that's been turned round so it's not going to introduce any wobbles. I got a small drill bit and a chuck. We got a depth stop marked with tape. Got the lathe turned on nice and slow. We'll drill to the bottom of that and go. Okay, now that we got the hole, we need to smooth things out a little bit. This is some Abra net. Really neat abrasive. Not so good if you got to get into tight spots, but so we want this fairly smooth. And now we're going to start doing the hollowing. I got the tool rest set up high because I'm going to be using basically a scraper. There's the tool. Shop made, probably a 1/4 inch steel rod, a little grinding. This back edge here and this edge in here have been rounded over a bit so they don't cut, because I don't want to widen this hole any more than I have to. Get up high, start pushing the tip back in to give yourself some room, and I'm hitting the leg of my tripod. And we'll do a little change here. Maybe I'll be able to pull this off. I'm basically doing a round under here and then doing a sweeping arc towards the bottom of the pilot hole. Now I'm going to have to change the grip again to get around the tripod. I don't know if you can see down here, but I'm leaving this kind of thick because when I come in from this side to start rounding in, I want to have a what I'm going to be using here is basically about a 1/4 inch spindle gouge with a fingernail grind on it. I'm going to use it sort of like you would a bowl gouge. But anyway, we're going to turn the speed up. You want to aim this bevel where you want to start to go. And we'll go right here. And start rotating around, riding the bevel in towards the neck. Leave yourself some meat there. I think I want to pull the shoulder back a ways. Not the neatest cuts in the world, but this is a demo. Still got some meat there if I want to use it. And I think I do. Stick it out here. Now I know where I am. And I better mark that with a pencil. So, this isn't a real deep hollow form, but you're playing with illusions when you're starting into the miniatures. So, we'll give it there, and maybe go down to here. And first I'm going to give myself some room using a 1/4 inch bench chisel like a bedan. Get a V groove going here. And I'm going to need this room later when I go to do the bottom of the foot. Now in theory you could stop right here. This is kind of an interesting little form. You could also flatten the top out if you wanted, but I'm going to go a little more traditional. I need some room to get that detail gouge in here. That's about where I want the foot. So we start this at about the shoulder. And again, we're using it like a bowl gouge. And we need to do a little in and out here. See why I left some meat at the neck? Don't worry about this thing being real smooth and perfect transitions and all, because you can take care of that with a sander. So, got our basic shape. Now we're going to shift some sandpaper and see how this goes. I do a little shaping with some sandpaper. Actually, it's Abranet, which is a plastic mesh with abrasive in it. Comes in a whole bunch of grits. It's a lot more expensive than America regular discs, but you can wash these things and they last a lot longer. They're great in a random orbital sander because you can suck air through the whole bottom of them, so they don't load up very quick. And as long as you don't press down and you let them do the cutting, they last 3 or 4 times longer than America regular paper for random orbitals. So now I'm going to switch over to 600 grit wet dry. Round it over. Get in there. Now 1500, again with a wet dry. And you can get almost a polished surface this way. I'm not going for that, but you can. Then we're going to burnish it with a coffee filter. Notice the sheen is starting to develop. See, I got a problem on the front, but this is a demo of how this is done. I intended to be an art piece. This is a little Mother's Gold car wax. And here's the trick. If you want the neck of that to look like you very carefully inlaid ebony, wad up the coffee filter, stick it in the hole and press really hard. And watch for smoke or your finger catching on fire, whichever comes first. Hopefully it'll be the smoke. Getting there. There we go. So now we've got a nice little black rim, which we'll now apply some wax to and make it look like we inlaid that sucker, which of course we didn't, but we don't have to tell anybody that. Back to the coffee filter, which is still on fire, which is not good. The trick here is to undercut. If you want to get something to sit flat, have a very small lip on the rim and then undercut it. Well, unfortunately, this thing parted off before I was ready, so I'm going to have to do some sanding. And if I were to put black ink inside there, you wouldn't see how shallow it is, and you'd think that was a handy-dandy little hollow form. You can do that, but nice to work out shapes and all first, then go for the 25-30 minute effort to really do it right. So that's the end of that one.